Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny, and as always, I'm here with Mark, our resident tech guru.
Hey Jenny, always a pleasure. And yeah, guru might be a stretch, but I do love nerding out about this stuff.
Laughs. You're too modest. So today we're diving into something really special. AI and dyslexia. I know this is a topic close to a lot of our listeners' hearts, so let's jump right in. Mark, can you set the stage for us? What exactly is dyslexia? Beyond the usual mixing up letters idea.
Totally. So dyslexia is way more than just swapping B's and D's. It's a neurodevelopmental thing, which is a fancy way of saying it's about how the brain is wired, basically. It makes it tough to read, write, and spell, even if someone's super smart in other areas. It is thought to impact 1 in 5 people, which blows my mind.
Wow, 1 in 5. That's huge, and it represents the vast majority of those diagnosed with learning disabilities, like 80 to 90%. You know, this makes me think about how many people are probably struggling with this silently.
Exactly. And here's the thing about dyslexia. It's not just about reading. It can affect writing, spelling, even how you process information. I was reading this study. They found that people with dyslexia often have trouble decoding words, retrieving vocabulary. It's like their brain is taking a slightly different route to get to the same place.
That's a great way to put it. Different route, same destination. It's like, if typical reading is taking the highway, dyslexia is taking the scenic route. Longer, maybe, but you still get there.
Oh, I like that analogy. And you know what's coming to the rescue on that scenic route? A course.
Laughs! Of course! So let's talk about that. How is AI helping with dyslexia? This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so this is the cool part. There's this AI-powered software called Dissolve, and it's like a game changer. Literally. It uses these interactive games to retrain the brains of people with dyslexia.
Wait, retrain the brain? That sounds very sci-fi, Mark.
Right? But it's actually happening. So basically, the AI creates these personalized verbal games. A student plays, and the AI evaluates their responses. Like how they process language, where they stumble, what they get right. It is cross-referencing billions of data points.
Billions? That's insane. So it's like a super-powered tutor that adapts to each student's unique needs?
Exactly. And based on that initial evaluation, it creates follow-up games. It's this constant loop of learning, evaluating, and adjusting. The CEO of the company behind Dissolve, Coral Palsan Ho, she said something that stuck with me. The AI system is creating a game. Then it gets some data on how the student's brain is or is not processing language. That is new when it comes to educational technology.
That's incredible. It's like having a learning plan that's constantly evolving with you. But how effective is it, really?
That's the best part. They've seen amazing results. Hundreds of elementary school students have used it, and they went from scoring below the 20th percentile in reading to above the 50th percentile in just 4 months.
Whoa, that's a massive jump. So we're talking about real, measurable improvement. I can imagine this is making a huge difference for these kids.
Totally. And it's not just about the numbers. Think about the impact on their confidence, their motivation. It's like suddenly, reading isn't this impossible mountain anymore. There is even this case study of Truly Heft, who was diagnosed with dyslexia at 18. And she improved significantly after using Dissolve AI.
That's so powerful. It really highlights the importance of early intervention. The sooner you can get this kind of support, the better.
Absolutely. And that's what they're finding with Dissolve. They've integrated it into some schools, and the results are really promising. Kids are hitting standardized performance levels after using it consistently.
It's amazing to see technology being used in such a meaningful way. But I have to ask, what about the potential downsides? Are there any ethical concerns with using AI in this way?
Yeah, that's a super important question. There is always a question of privacy and data security. I mean, we're talking about collecting data on how kids learn, how their brains work.
Right. And we've seen how data breaches can happen, even with the best intentions. It's crucial that this data is handled responsibly and transparently.
Totally. And there's also the issue of accessibility. This kind of technology can be expensive. How do we make sure it's not just available to families who can afford it?
That's a big one. It would be a shame if this incredible tool only widened the gap between privileged and underprivileged students.
Exactly. But, on the flip side, if school districts start adopting it on a larger scale, that could really help with affordability. and the potential long-term benefits are huge.
That's true. And I imagine the technology will only get better, more sophisticated. I read that as AI technology advances, integrating Dissolve with other educational tools like speech recognition and natural language processing could enhance its effectiveness further.
Oh, for sure. It's like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. I can see a future where AI tutors are commonplace, helping all kinds of learners in all sorts of subjects.
It's definitely an exciting time. It's like we're witnessing this revolution in education right before our eyes.
Totally. And you know what this reminds me of? All those sci-fi movies where technology helps people overcome their limitations. It's kind of becoming a reality.
Laughs, you and your sci-fi, Mark. But you're right, it's amazing how far we've come. So, what's the big takeaway here? What should our listeners remember about AI and dyslexia?
I think the main thing is that AI is offering a real breakthrough for treating dyslexia. It's not just a futuristic concept anymore, it's happening now, and it's making a real difference in people's lives.
And it's a reminder that technology, when used thoughtfully and ethically, can be a powerful force for good. It's not just about cool gadgets and gizmos. It's about improving lives.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Jenny. It's about using our ingenuity to create a better future, one where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential.
Well said, Mark. And on that hopeful note, I think we're out of time for today. Thanks for another fascinating conversation.
Always a pleasure, Jenny. And thanks to all of you for listening.